The day had been long, and my mind was weary as I left the office. The night was dark, and the road ahead was shrouded in an eerie silence. I had a long drive home, and the only company I had was the soft hum of the car's engine. The darkness seemed to stretch endlessly before me, and the only source of light was the dim glow of the headlights. I could barely see beyond the reach of those feeble beams, and the road ahead felt desolate and forbidding. It was as if the world had disappeared, leaving me alone in the void. As I continued to drive, a strange sensation crept over me. It was as though I was being watched, and an uneasy feeling settled in the pit of my stomach. I couldn't quite shake off the feeling, so I turned up the volume on the radio, hoping the music would drown out my unease. I was lost in thought when suddenly, out of the darkness, a figure appeared. At first, I thought it was a shadow, a trick of the mind brought on by the fatigue of the day. But as I drew closer, I realized it was no illusion. A dog, or what appeared to be a dog, stood in the middle of the road. It was unlike any dog I had ever seen. Its fur was a ghostly white, and its eyes glowed with an unnatural, eerie light. I hit the brakes, bringing the car to a screeching halt just a few feet from the strange creature. I sat there, my heart pounding, and stared at the ghostly dog. It looked at me with those luminous, otherworldly eyes, and I couldn't tear my gaze away. It was as if it was trying to communicate something to me, but I couldn't decipher its silent message. Tentatively, I opened the car door and stepped out. The dog didn't move, but its eyes followed me. I approached it slowly, my hand outstretched, and cautiously, I touched its fur. It was icy cold, and a chill ran down my spine. As I stood there, I felt a strange sense of sadness emanating from the ghostly dog. It was a deep, profound sadness that seemed to envelop me, and the air grew heavy with an unspoken tension. In that moment, I knew that this creature was not of this world, that it was a spirit trapped in a realm between life and death. Suddenly, the dog let out a mournful, haunting howl that sent shivers down my spine. The sound echoed through the darkness, and I could swear that it carried with it a message of longing and despair. I couldn't understand why this dog was here, on this desolate road in the dead of night. It was as if it was a creature from another realm, a spectral presence that defied the laws of the living. As I watched, the ghostly dog turned and slowly faded into the darkness, its eyes the last thing to disappear. It left me with a feeling of awe and wonder, as if I had glimpsed something beyond the ordinary, something that defied explanation. I got back into my car, my mind reeling from the encounter. The road ahead was once again shrouded in darkness, but I couldn't forget the ghostly dog. It was a reminder that there are mysteries in this world that we may never fully understand, and that sometimes the most profound experiences happen in the darkest of nights. As I continued my journey, I couldn't help but wonder about the ghostly dog and the message it had conveyed through that haunting howl. It was a night that would forever be etched in my memory, a night when the boundaries between the living and the supernatural seemed to blur, and I had come face to face with something beyond the realm of the ordinary. I reached home, my thoughts filled with the mysterious encounter. The events of that night played over and over in my mind like a haunting melody. I couldn't shake the feeling that the ghostly dog had a message for me, and I was determined to uncover its meaning. The following days were consumed by my obsession with the ghostly dog. I scoured books on the paranormal, consulted with experts in the field, and even sought out psychics and mediums. Each inquiry led to more questions than answers, and I found myself descending further into the realm of the unknown. One evening, while poring over a dusty old book on ghostly apparitions, I came across a passage that mentioned spectral dogs as harbingers of misfortune. They were said to appear to those who were on the precipice of life-altering decisions or faced significant challenges. The message was often one of caution or forewarning. Could it be that the ghostly dog had been trying to communicate a warning to me? I pondered this possibility, my anxiety growing with each passing day. Another sleepless night was spent researching, and it was during this time that I uncovered a local legend. It told of a dog that had belonged to a man named Samuel Blackwood, who had lived in the area in the 1800s. Samuel had been a recluse, known for his eccentric behavior and rumored dealings with the occult. The legend claimed that Samuel had been cursed by dark forces, and his dog had become a spectral guardian, appearing to those who needed guidance or protection. The dog was said to be able to communicate through dreams and visions. With newfound determination, I decided to embark on a quest to learn more about Samuel Blackwood and the spectral dog. I visited the local library, examined old records, and even sought out descendants of Samuel's family. Through my efforts, I uncovered Samuel's journals, filled with cryptic writings and strange symbols. It was in those pages that I found a reference to a specific location, a desolate cemetery hidden deep in the woods. It was said to be the place where Samuel Blackwood and his spectral dog were laid to rest. I knew that I had to visit the cemetery, that it held the key to unlocking the mystery of the ghostly dog. With trepidation and a sense of urgency, I made my way to the eerie burial ground. The night was cold and moonless when I arrived at the cemetery. The ancient tombstones loomed like silent sentinels in the darkness, and the wind whispered through the gnarled trees. As I walked deeper into the graveyard, a feeling of unease settled over me. At the center of the cemetery, I discovered a weathered, ornate tombstone, unlike the others. It bore the name Samuel Blackwood and an engraving of a spectral dog. It was here, at this solemn place, that I decided to spend the night, hoping to receive some guidance from the ghostly dog in my dreams. I lay down by the tombstone, shivering in the cold, and closed my eyes. It was not long before sleep overcame me, and I found myself in a dreamlike state. In the dream, I was standing in the same desolate cemetery, but now the spectral dog was at my side. It looked at me with those same otherworldly eyes, and this time I could hear its voice, a soft and mournful whisper. It told me of Samuel Blackwood's curse, of his desperate search for redemption, and his eternal bond with the spectral dog. The ghostly dog implored me to break the curse, to find a way to release Samuel's tormented soul. It revealed that Samuel had made a grave mistake in his quest for power, and had paid a heavy price for it. To free him, I had to locate a hidden artifact, a relic of dark magic, and return it to the tomb. The dream was vivid and filled with cryptic clues. When I awoke, I knew what I had to do. With the first light of dawn, I set out to unravel the mystery of Samuel Blackwood's curse and the spectral dog that had become my guide. The artifact, it seemed, was hidden in a hidden chamber beneath the old Blackwood mansion. It was a place said to be filled with unspeakable horrors, but I had no choice. The ghostly dog's plea had stirred something within me, a sense of responsibility to set things right. As I ventured into the dark, decaying mansion, the air grew heavy with dread. I encountered twisted corridors, cobweb-covered chambers, and unsettling echoes that seemed to whisper malevolent secrets. The search for the artifact was fraught with danger and uncertainty. Hours turned into days as I explored every inch of the mansion, guided by the spectral dog's ethereal presence. It was as if Samuel's guardian was helping me navigate the treacherous terrain, protecting me from the malevolent forces that sought to thwart my mission. Finally, deep within the bowels of the mansion, I discovered a hidden chamber. It was a place of unimaginable darkness, filled with forbidden tomes, occult symbols, and the dreaded artifact, an ancient amulet that pulsed with dark energy. With trembling hands, I carefully picked up the amulet and could feel its malevolent power coursing through my veins. It was a dangerous and cursed relic, but it was also the key to freeing Samuel Blackwood from his torment. I hurried back to the cemetery, guided by the spectral dog, and stood before Samuel's tombstone. With the amulet in hand, I recited an incantation that had been revealed to me in the dream. The amulet flared with dark energy, and the ground beneath the tombstone trembled. Suddenly, a spectral figure, Samuel Blackwood himself, materialized before me. His eyes were filled with a mixture of relief and gratitude as he nodded in acknowledgement. The ghostly dog, too, was there, its presence comforting and protective. With the curse broken, the spectral dog's once glowing eyes faded, and it let out a final, contented howl before dissolving into the ether. Samuel Blackwood's spirit was finally free, and he, too, faded away, leaving behind a sense of closure and peace. I stood there, alone in the cemetery, my heart heavy with the weight of the supernatural journey that had led me to this moment. The mystery of the ghostly dog had been unraveled, and and Samuel Blackwood's soul had found redemption. The dark relic was sealed away, never to bring harm again. The night had given way to the early light of morning, and I knew that I had been chosen by fate to play a part in this extraordinary tale. The encounter with the ghostly dog had changed the course of my life, leading me into a world of the unknown and challenging the boundaries of what I had once considered reality. As I walked away from the cemetery, I couldn't help but wonder if the spectral dog had chosen me for a reason, or if it had been mere chance that our paths had crossed. But one thing was certain. I had been forever marked by the experience, and the memory of that haunting night would remain with me, a testament to the enduring mysteries that exist beyond the realm of the ordinary.